you guys doing? Always gumping it, baby. Always gumping. Speaking of gumping, I'm working on the design. Making some little, it's not perfect, like, I'm trying to make little shrimp necklaces. So I might try to make it a little bit more curved, but it's kind of hard trying to cut it out with my handsaw and stuff. But it's kind of like a little dried shrimp cocktail. You know, kind of like when you get the shrimp, it's just not quite as curved. But I gotta polish it and stuff. But it's got the texturing. So I'm working on that. It's not easy, but trying to do camera work is always tricky. But I got a different camera thing, so just trying to show shuttle hammer and stuff. Steel I'm using, I got some S7, which is a really funky, cool alloy. It's air hardening. I'm just making this so I can make small hatchets or axes. So I got some steel. Yes, I am employed. No, I work full time. I work security at a place. This is a side thing I'm trying to grow because both with making stuff and also content, I want to be self-employed eventually because my dad and other family members, they've been screwed because a lot of companies, one of the things that's gotten away from America was companies caring about their employees. They get the pyramid upside down. The CEO doesn't do shit. They do stuff, but not as much. You need to have, it's like One Piece. You have a loyal crew. If you want to look up a cool example, this guy, he started a credit card company, a CEO. He was making $5 million a year. He cut his pay to $70,000, divided up the other couple million that he was going to get paid, and made sure that every employee of his company started off at 70 grand per year as a salary. And in the 5 years, the company grew 100+%, and also not a single person quit or was fired because they had enough money and were respected enough that they, even if they didn't have the best days at work, they were able to actually not have to stress about paying rent or a mortgage. And so if your name's not on the company, you ain't worth shit. You're just another number. So I'm trying not to do some of the Forrest Gump stuff because with yes, I'm also a nerd. I'm going to be trying to also forge like one-piece swords and other stuff. I'm trying to get into CGI and visual effects stuff. Basically, I want to be like a hands-on Quentin Tarantino, except I don't like feet. I want to be able to I want to forge Shank's sword, but then do the IRL, all this stuff. But that's going to take time. Yeah, I'm also from Massachusetts, brewing prods. I eventually want to get out of this state because there's too much damn taxes and shit. My favorite anime. So, I'm going to give you my first big three. Oh, you're from New Hampshire? Oh. Well, I assume because of the Bruins, but yeah, I want to move to New Hampshire because way better taxes, gun laws, and also it's cold. It's one of the safest states. It depends on what social media you're talking about. I only started the Instagram doing the gum stuff recently. That reel kind of popped up on YouTube. I've had this channel since 20 something, 2016, 2017. If you look back at some of my older videos, I did a review on an airsoft gun. It just doesn't deform as much. Louisiana. Oh, Bob, I want to make a wait. I can't quite do the. I wish my grandmother taught me French. Oh boy, we're gonna make a name for ourselves, boy. I love it. I've had gator before. I only had it fried. I want to try and smoke the grill. I had it when I was in Florida. Okay, back to the anime. So, my big three, I grew up, my first anime that I grew up watching that I really loved was Naruto. And Bleach, because I saw that on Cartoon Network, Toonami, late night. And of course, I like One Piece. I haven't really been watching stuff because I'm trying to edit YouTube videos on how to build. I'm almost done with the video. So this forge stand is all bolted together. This forge is all bolted together. There is no welding. So see ya, E-Rob. So, but I had my regular Venturi burner on here, which give me a second. I got it here. Yes, I know. I got to organize them. It's called the ADHD pile effect. find the damn thing. Give me a second. Probably right in front of me, but I just can't see. I'm doing Morse code so I can find it. Okay, I can't find it, but this is just some plumbing fittings, and that's a little turbo. That's where the gas orifice goes into. But I still have the Venturi end, so just say if the power cut, so just say an emergency, so this is a forced air forge. If the power turned off, I would have to close the valve, turn the propane tank off and the regulator. That's the only thing. You don't want to walk away from a forced air forge in case you lose power or trip something. Now, because this is like 2,000 degrees in here, the cameras always make it look like it's hotter than it is. And there's still, I have the gas light, I could just turn this back on, so. But this can still be converted to, I just have to unscrew this, put this in, hook this line up to this, and then I have a Venturi burner. But, so my big favorite three anime are the big three. You got Naruto Shippuden, you got Bleach. I do like sports, it's just, I never cared to watch sports until I played it. So like I used to play baseball, football, basketball. No, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I have a really good Newport voice. I'm only 20 years old. I've only been smoking Newports for 4 years. I got the voice of an angel. Oh, I remember the days when they invented chocolate. I'm not really a fan. Like, I like the Patriots when Tom Brady, Gronk, a bunch of other players were there. It just depends on. I'm not like loyal to a specific team. So let me show you my redneck MacGyvered treadle hammer. So that's an old sledgehammer. I had some inch square bar that I ground down and welded, and there's some square tubing that I have a hole and a nut so that this is removable. My old garage door spring, because we used to have the garage door in here, but me and my dad, that's Jenny, Jenny, and we used to have the garage door in here, so I saved the springs, but I did not have any proper anchor stuff, so I used liquid nails. I screwed a bunch of this to the wall and shit. So it's very janky, but it does work. And but you can see I got the all thread, got some Yule tape and a board to keep that separated. But you can see I got some 3/4 inch all thread here, and I got my pillow block bearings. On the other side, this is coming loose. This is how I keep it on, but it does loosen over time. But hey, it's worked. I was going to replace the but it's like, hey, if it works, it works. I will be, after the September antique show at Brimfield, I will be working on the power hammer. Because the power hammer, I'm trying to make it so that I use a leaf spring pack, which I got over there, and I got the encapsulated ram. So I want to see if I can make the power hammer first, and then because I got this tall column, I might be able to add a spring up top and be able to make it so it's a treadle hammer and a power hammer. Because I'm very grateful that my grandmother's garage is pretty big, and a lot of bigger smiths don't have even half this garage. Because like, I think this is like a 20 by 10 maybe. Some guys only have half of this. So if I could make a power hammer, so like my goal is eventually not just do the blacksmith thing, but I want to try to get my LLC, try to become like a fabrication shop. So if I could create, make the prototype for this power hammer, and then I could refine it later on, so that you could have one tool that you build or buy pre-assembled, and you could have a power hammer, so electric motor that drives the tire offset cam, and you could disconnect the linkage to the motor, and you could have a separate treadle, and you could have a treadle hammer, but it's in line. So I'm a former / failed engineering student. I grew up watching Mythbusters and taking shit apart, but I'm kind of stupid at math. I'm not very good at math. Oh shit. Hello. Sorry. You got to experience what happened. So, we're getting there, baby. And I'm a very shitty welder, but I'm slowly getting better. So I made this flooring. Try and get this handle decently long. That way I can be away from the heat. I'm working on making, yes, very strong. Probably some undiagnosed autism. I tell you, after my near-death experience and like my little bit of actual like brain damage, whatever ADHD and other stuff I had just like went through the roof. It also didn't help that I lost my mother to suicide like a week after my 21st birthday. So like I was just getting over the near-death heart thing, and then so I at the start of my life I've had basically two midlife crises at the start of my life. So this was a rebar hatchet, but I didn't have stuff lined up, so when I drifted, it kind of got messed up. So I'm trying to make a proper drift. So when I punch it, I'll be able to actually, yeah. That's why I like the Gump character, because he's been through a lot of shit, but he understands that life is what it is. Life is like a box of chocolates you get from a cracked out homeless person. You don't know how much shit is going to be in it. No, it wasn't my brother. It was my mother, my mom, the woman who birthed me. Yeah, especially since I. One second, I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. No, you're good. Dude, especially because I've seen some clips where someone talks about, like, Gump and how he's slow, but he's not retarded. Like, he's slow with everything else, but he understands when people are making fun of him or when bad things happen. But he doesn't quite process things the same way as other people. And he knows when people are mean to him, when they have malice in their heart, and they. But the fact that he been through so much, lost so many people, but he just focused on what he could control and what he enjoys. Like, my shoulder's a little bit tired from recording this. That's why I'm going to be working on trying to get the power hammer going. But you just have to have faith in yourself and faith in God. Whatever God you believe in, I don't care what. I'm not pushing my shit on you. But you just need something better than greater than you. So that way you know that no matter what, you're not alone. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna go get one. I gotta check my phone battery. All right, I'll be right back. It's loud in the shop. Sorry about that. I didn't expect people to actually care about what I'm saying. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm facing away from the thing. I'm just getting some tape because I don't want the Bluetooth transmitter to like dangling. Because this is the only phone I got, so I don't want it to. Give me a second. Trying to learn how to film your own stuff is quite the challenge. Dude, you have no idea, like, I grew up watching like the Vanos Gaming Crew and like other like gamers and stuff. And gaming content, especially when it's funny or even just like walkthroughs, that shit is fairly easy to do and to like edit. I haven't done it myself, but when you're trying to show like how to build something for someone, it's a we got a drowning wasp. Quick death. I could have let that wasp drown, but I rather give it some quick death mercy. But trying to do build videos. Sorry for that. I got indigestion and stuff. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with what we got. This is toasty. Now I'm just going to use the shuttle hammer just to flatten and try to turn it octagon. This, not originally, no, like I didn't have any, like, not exactly. So like the stuff I'm trying to get into, I grew up watching Mythbusters. That's what I wanted to do. I'm working on Neon. I'm working on making a small hatchet / tomahawk eye drift, because this is my first failed. Like I might be able to save it, but I didn't quite have a dedicated drift for this. So I want to be able to make like small little axes / tomahawks, throwing axes. But yeah, Big Cheese, I grew up watching Mythbusters. I was like, I want to do stuff like that, not realizing that the entirety of Mythbusters isn't just the engineering involved in making stuff. It's the production, it's the ideas, the other stuff. So basically, like on the Degenerate Forge, I'm going to be making the stuff I want to do. But then on my personal channel, I'm going to try to do my personal channel, which is just my name. I want to just do make weird stuff, like, you know, a weird launcher that launches weird stuff. You know, something that some other people have done, but what the fuck's burning on that? I don't have any much videos on that yet. I'm gonna be I have it made, but I haven't put stuff on there yet, so I'm trying to balance like 20 different things. I'm trying to like do the blacksmithing stuff, my full-time job, and then also trying to grow different things. Eventually, YouTube channel and other stuff, once they grow big enough, and I'm able to actually do it full time, I'll have more stuff. I don't know if you can hear me, but I just had some weird stuff burning.
So I don't know if you can still hear me through the mask, but Bobby Boucher. Oh fuck! Trying to figure out where I could put you guys. Yeah, I am manually breathing. I will say, even though it sucks, because I got some shit in the air that's burning that I don't like, it does actually help with your cardio. So if you do like tactical training, wearing a respirator, you gotta make sure you're careful, but I keep my iced coffee outside the shop so it doesn't melt as quick. But we're getting there. I got the handle, I just need to refine this. Gotta put one of my blanks in. Need to grab me a water. Need some hot water H2O. Let me know, guys, if you can still hear me because I'm partially inside my house and also inside your mama. I got me water. I almost fell down the stairs. Can you guys hear me? Uh, want me to stop it?
We're almost done rounding
Yeah.
because it's almost 2 o'clock.
Okay.
What's making that machine go up and down?
It's a foot. After Brimfield, see this thing? This is the prototype. So the main purpose is to be a power hammer. So it's got a motor that'll spin that wheel and stuff. But I want to make it so that I can disconnect the thing and have it also be a shuttle hammer. Because there are other bigger blacksmiths and bladesmiths that their garage is like half or even quarter, half this size. So this is going to be like a prototype. So if the concept works, then I can refine it and, make build plans to sell or build stuff. So yeah, I'll shut down the forge. So when you have a forced air forge, this is just a simple one. I gotta call it because I do have a curfew because the neighbors and also my grandmother. But so it's getting late and I got a curfew, so I gotta turn the forge off. So I turned the gas off. So when you have a forced air forge, so the gas comes in from here, has a small nozzle, 0.035. Then you get the turbo, and that's blowing air, so you're able to get it a lot hotter with a lot less fuel. Now, luckily, because this is a side blast, you can see this is a consumable. This is just a 3/4 inch nipple, 8-inch nipple with a 3/4 to 1.25 inch reducer. This is a consumable, and yes, the bricks do crack because this thermal expansion and stuff, but these bricks you can replace, or I got some high temperature kiln cement, but I got some today. I was able to get some of these horseshoe nails, hooks, and other stuff, but I usually keep this on for a bit, the blower, just so there's less, not super hot. So I think I should be good to turn this off. I just got, so that'll help normalize stuff. I'm not done with the axe side drift, and the cameras always make it look like it's a lot brighter than it is. It's actually a lot darker. It's more like an orange, like an actual fruit orange. But yeah, so I got to cut it for forging tonight because we got my grandmother and neighbors. That's why I eventually want to move to New Hampshire, because there's a lot of old farm properties where you could have a detached barn or garage, and you don't have neighbors for like 500 or 1,000 yards. So all your guys' support means the world to me, even if you're just watching, because I want to. Yeah, I'm grateful to facial hair. Some of my friends from high school, some people just can't grow facial hair. Like, if you really want to have facial hair, I forgot the name of it, but they do make like an actual, it's like a chemical or a hormone that you have to use like a little pricker thing to prick, poke little micro holes on your face, and then that hormone or chemical convinces the body to make more hair follicles. So it's not impossible, it's just, with your genetics, it's going to be difficult. Like, hey, I'm 6'5", big hands, big feet. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If you're a guy, you know. But thank you guys so much. I'm going to live stream tomorrow before work, Forge and stuff. So thank you guys. Be safe, have fun, and make some cool stuff.